Long ago, on the southern coast of Japan, a temple was built near the site of a naval battle. This battle marked the end of a long and brutal conflict, the Genpei War of the 12th century. The combatants were the rebellious Minamoto samurai and the ruling Taira clan. The war claimed countless lives. In the centuries that followed, performers across Japan commemorated this tragedy through beautiful and moving performances. But legend says the most talented storyteller was a monk from that very temple. Hoichi was a blind Biwa priest, a musician and performer. He played epic war songs on his lute. When he recited the temple's tale, his voice rose and fell like soldiers on a battlefield. The sound of his Biwa merged with the crashing waves and the clash of blades. One night, a samurai fiercely knocked on the temple gate, demanding to see the Biwa priest. When Hoichi answered, the warrior said he had orders to bring the monk to his master. His master was a nobleman who longed to hear Hoichi perform. The monk agreed to follow him. Yet, as they walked, the ground seemed to twist beneath his feet. Hoichi lost all sense of direction. He didn't know how long they walked until suddenly, they arrived before a grand and majestic building. Inside the hall, Hoichi felt countless eyes watching him from the shadows. Then, a voice from the depths of the room commanded him to tell the tragic tale of the Taira clan's downfall. Hoichi trembled, but he cleared his throat and plucked the first note. He sang of the fierce war that tore Japan apart. He sang of the Minamoto clan, who launched a bloody rebellion against the Taira. He sang of endless battles, and of the Taira's desperate retreat to the southern shores, protecting their emperor, a boy of only 6 years old. Finally, he sang of their ultimate defeat, when surrounded and overwhelmed by enemies. The emperor's grandmother leapt into the sea with him. When Hoichi finished, the air was filled with weeping. The nobleman's voice rang out, commanding Hoichi to return for 6 more nights to tell his tale. In return, he would be richly rewarded, so long as he kept it secret. The monk agreed, and so, for several nights, Hoichi followed the samurai into the shadows, though he told no one about it. One night the head priest noticed Hoichi was missing. He ordered the servants to watch the young musician. That night, they saw Hoichi rise from bed and quietly slip beyond the temple walls. To their shock, he settled in a nearby graveyard and began to play, surrounded by floating ghostly flames. Terrified, the servants dragged Hoichi before the head priest. After hearing their story, the priest was filled with dread. He declared that Hoichi had been summoned by the spirits of the Taira clan. If he appeared before them again, he would surely die. To protect the Biwa priest, the head priest covered Hoichi's body in sacred sutras, a mystical protection. He also warned Hoichi that no matter who came that night, he must remain completely silent and still. That night, when the ghostly samurai returned, the sutras rendered Hoichi invisible to them. Angered, the warrior raised his hand, then saw 2 floating ears. In the haste, the priest had forgotten to cover Hoichi's ears. With a furious cry, the samurai sliced them off. Though in terrible pain, Hoichi stayed perfectly still and silent. His terrifying ordeal soon became legend. People came from far and wide to hear him recite the tragedy of the Taira and his encounter with the spirits. Though he never again met another ghost, his performances kept the memory of the Taira's sacrifice alive. Today, Hoichi's story remains one of Japan's most famous ghost tales. His statue stands among the stones that honor the fallen Taira warriors, a reminder to remember the past and to avoid repeating its endless cycle.